Hello everyone, it's Joel Davis with, and you thought I was going to say the United Medical Transportation Providers Group and youarethebroker.com, and you'd be correct. But today I'm contacting you regarding, drum roll, home care access. Fat man, what is home care access? It's the dawn of a new day, a new opportunity. Home care access. Now many of you know, I obviously work with so many of you in the non-emergency medical transportation space, and many of you I also work with in the home care space. My manual, How to Build a $1 Million Home Care Agency, very popular. The premise is to leverage your NEMT business to grow and scale your private pay-based home care agency. However, home care access is completely different. They are not the same. Why? Because with home care access, I've partnered with an awesome couple. Many of you know them, Marty and Ginny. Many of you have met them at some of my live events. I've known them for over 10 years. They've been to different events around the country. Marty and Ginny Rube have been in the home care space for over 20 years. Community caregivers based in Ohio. How much do you think they've seen over 20 years? How much do you think how much change do you think they've seen? Not just in the last 20 plus years that they've been in business, over 100 caregivers. How many thousands of caregivers have they had over 20 plus years? How much do you think they've seen just in the last year or two? With the scamdemic and the plandemic and everything else they got planned for us, everything else they got coming. How much do you think they've seen? How much do you think they've witnessed? Their business has continued to grow and scale through it all. Why? Let's take the recent scamdemic and plandemic. I'm from the People's Republic of New York. We all know what's happened. We all know what's happened with our little dictator here. The great infinite wisdom of taking seniors and stuffing them with COVID, stuffing them into nursing homes. Yeah, we know how that worked out. People want to age in place in their environment, in their home environment. Sons and daughters, they want their moms and dads and grandparents, they want them safe at home. Whether they live local or they live out of area, they want peace of mind and comfort knowing that mom and dad are aging in place in a comfortable environment that they're familiar with. So needless to say, home care has continued to grow exponentially. And Marty and Ginny have a very unique business model. Now listen, I know there's a lot of you people watching this and you're more interested in being a social media influencer on your LinkedIn and your Facebook pages. There's a lot of gurus out there, the gurus, the experts of the industry, and they're out there and they're all pushing that private pay. The reason they're pushing that private pay, because no question, private pay per hour, per patient has a greater ROI. However, there is just so much work out there for government contracts. Now, I know when you hear government contracts, like me, it sends shivers up and down your spine, because when you hear government contracts, especially with regards to NEMT, you default to Medicaid brokers. And you all know how I feel about Medicaid brokers. Hey, you can do Medicaid broker work as long as it's profitable, you have good agreements, they're not raking you over the coals or bending you over a barrel. I'm cool with it. You have to approach Medicaid brokers in the NEMT space like a pet alligator. It's not your dog. You're not going to roll around with it. You're not going to play fetch. You're not going to groom it. The minute you think otherwise, you're going to get bit by that alligator. So you can do Medicaid work as long as it's profitable, but the minute it's not, you got to bail on it. I need to clearly underscore this point. Government contracts in the home care space is completely different as compared to NEMT. They could not be further apart. There's no similarities, no comparison. In the home care space, government contracts, there's no middleman. If anybody, in fact, I've experienced this before with some of my client providers, if you are solicited by someone trying to broker work for you in the home care space, run as fast as you possibly can, because it's just someone trying to get their fish hooks into you and make some money off of your work and your labor. It is not essential. It's not even necessary in the home care space. There is so much work. Marty and Ginny, as of this recording, have in their county, there's over 500 people who are on waiting lists right now. In their county, just in their county, on some of these government contracts, and they have, I think, close to half a dozen government contracts, because there's so many different types of contracts, that can vary by state, obviously. There are over 500 people in their county, as of the recording of this video, over 500 people waiting to get placed, and they could wait perpetually. It's all about getting the providers in there and the caregivers in there who could service demand. So needless to say, the cup of opportunity overfloweth. This is one of many reasons why I've partnered with Marty and Ginny. They have a very unique business model. Again, a lot of the experts and gurus and social media experts on the Facebook and the LinkedIn, they don't even talk about this stuff because they don't know about it. And even if they do, they don't know how to use it or how to deploy these types of strategies and tactics. So Marty and Ginny, they got private pay clients, just like I advocate with a lot of people in my business. But they do a lot of government contract work. Now, here's what I also love about this. This is something that makes their business model unique and gives them a great opportunity. You couldn't pull this off with private pay. With these government contracts, think about how many people are already, by default, caregivers. They're at home taking care of mom or dad, or they're taking care of, a loved one, their grandparents, whatever. They're already serving as a caregiver. Now, if that patient, that recipient, if they're on one of these government contracts, think about this. They pay Marty and Ginny Rugg to hire that person that by default is already serving as a caregiver by default. The government is paying them to employ that person to render care to someone they're already providing care to. It is absolutely phenomenal. Now, Marty and Ginny are able to get more caregivers because now they're able to hire them as a caregiver. And as they further train them, now they can offer them the opportunity to help care for others so they can make even more money. It is a huge win-win situation. In fact, this relationship has allowed Marty and Ginny to continue to grow and scale. Trust me, they're still short-staffed. They would love to have even more caregivers because if they have more caregivers, they could go after a bunch of these people, the 500-plus people in their county alone who are literally sitting in these queues waiting to be placed. Again, I've been in their office. I see their computer. I see all their requests. They can't keep up with them. Now, it's empowering because they get to pick and choose what they want. But again, it's just opportunity that's continuing to flow and slip through their fingers. If they get more caregivers, they could further grow and scale and get even more. But anyways, they have a very unique business model, which is why I've decided to partner with these people because they've been in business for over 20 years. They started out as a franchise. They invested tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars to buy into a franchise when they first started. Then they were paying thousands of dollars residually every single month. And after multiple years, they're scratching their head. And they're saying, what are we paying all this money for? What are we getting? Now, if I were to ask you, what are the top 3 franchises for restaurants? You're going to say Wendy's, Burger King, McDonald's. It's the natural. If you want to throw in Chick-fil-A, I love me some Chick-fil-A. So throw in some Chick-fil-A too. Name the top 3 franchises for home care. You can't. They're not. No one knows. My point is, there is absolutely, and I've made many videos on this, there is absolutely no reason for you to ever invest in a franchise for NEMT or home care, bottom line. You do not need anybody putting fish hooks in your pocket, pulling money out of you, pulling points. It's absolutely unnecessary. Again, for a franchise, for a restaurant, franchise makes sense. They're going to help you with product, marketing, supply chain management. You don't have that with home care or NEMT. So after you're operational, what do you need them for? For NEMT, the franchise, they're going to try to push you in with some Medicaid brokers. You don't have that nonsense for home care. You do not need franchise to be successful for either of those businesses. So another reason why I partnered with this great couple is because, again, they've seen it over 20 plus years and counting, and they literally started out as a franchise so they could tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly associated just being a franchise. Everything they've seen over these 20 years, everything they've seen just over the last year or two with all of these changes. So again, it's a great opportunity for me to partner with this awesome couple. Again, many of you have met them before at some of my live events. But what we did in creating Home Care Access is, first and foremost, we put together this 8-disc DVD series where I literally sit down with them for many hours on multiple occasions, and I pick their brain. All recorded, all on DVD for you. Trust me, you're going to watch it many times over. This manual that comes with it has a lot of the data and statistics that we use all throughout our conversations on these 8 discs. So the data, absolutely critical. It's going to further all of this information. Bottom line is going to not only reveal their strategies and their tactics and their unique business model. Again, there's a lot of people out there talking about, this is how you build your home care agency. But they are not discussing what Marty and Ginny are doing. There's a specific reason why I partnered with them. Again, I have client providers all over the country. There's plenty of other people I could have partnered with. But I specifically partnered with Marty and Ginny because they have a unique business model, private pay, and government contracts. They've been in business for over 20 plus years and counting. Their business has continued to grow and scale all through the scandemic and pandemic. Well over 100 caregivers, untold number of clients and counting. And I also love the fact that they started out as a franchise. They're going to be able to tell you specifically the good, the bad, and the ugly associated with franchise for home care. Now, how does all this work? Well, here's the other beautiful thing, specifically why I partnered with Marty and Ginny. They are in the position to literally work with you, to consult with you, to mentor you for 120 days. For 120 days. When I do coaching with people, I only do 60 days. They are going to work with you for 120 days if you choose. Now, not everybody needs to move forward and do coaching. Some of you may only want to, get the DVDs and then you're going to become your own resident expert and go out and learn through the School of Hard Knocks. Hey, we're cool with that. You are going to learn. You're going to watch this thing so many times because there's so many nuggets in here that they reveal. Again, this is me literally sitting down with them for hours upon hours on multiple occasions, extracting all the particulars associated with their business. So again, how does this work? First and foremost, if you have been an active UMTPG member for the last 6 months or I've worked with you one-on-one, you are going to save $500. 500 bones. You're going to save $500 on your investment in home care access. Now, we don't even want you to move forward and do coaching just yet. We want you to first study this DVD series. Study the heck out of it. Because again, you're going to watch it multiple times. Even the introductory DVD, you're going to rewind it. Wait, what did they just say? Absolute phenomenal details and particulars that we discuss. So we want you to study the heck out of this DVD series. If at that point in time you decide that, you know what, I want Marty and Ginny to work with me, guide me through this process, then you move forward, if you choose, to do private coaching with them for 120 days. Now listen, I only work with people for 60 days with NEMT, and when I work with people for home care, I only work with people for 60 days. And if you've purchased the material before, we don't even do credits or anything like that. You are going to love this material so much. I know I sound like a used car salesman, but you are going to appreciate the nuggets that they divulge about the particulars of their business, that if you move forward and enlist their help for one-on-one coaching, your investment in this will be credited towards coaching with them. Now, listen, you will have the opportunity. Our media team can help build you a website and all those particulars, but we don't even want to go down there right now. If you were to go to our website right now, None of the links are going to be active. I'm telling you right now, none of the links are going to be active specifically because as of right now, we are doing an exclusive private launch for the next 120 days. Why 120 days? Because it sounds cool. Because if you move forward down the road, you decide to move forward and you want Marty and Ginny's help to get you going from start to finish, getting you these government contracts, they're going to work with you for 120 days. So, for the next 120 days, we're going to do a private exclusive launch. If you've been an active UMTPG member for the last 6 months or I've done one-on-one coaching with you, you are going to save $500 when you invest in this DVD series. And again, they're going to ship this 8 discs with this manual that has all the data and statistics that we talk about throughout the course of this series. They're all right here so you could follow along in the manual as we talk about it. So for the next 120 days, if you have been an active UMTPG member for the last 6 months or I've worked with you one-on-one, you are going to save $500. Again, the links, nothing. This is an exclusive private launch for home care access. Links on the website will not be active. Only thing we want you to do right now, study the material. Study the heck out of this material. If you're serious about moving forward and you want help, you want Marty and Ginny, they are literally going to work with you for 120 days. Everything from getting your business operational with manuals, the rules, because you're going to need all those. You're going to need those. The state will require it. You're going to need it to help train your caregivers, to recruit people, to build your relationships, if you're going after private pay work, but also for your government contracts. Each government contract, there may be great similarity, but there's also going to be differences, different rules and regulations. Their goal is, if they work with you for 120 days, is to take you from start to finish to get you to where you're operational and you have government contracts. That is the goal. So now a lot of that, hey, listen, if you're going to work with them, if you decide in the future, after the first goal, study this material. If you decide you want them to help hold your hand and move you forward and work with you for 120 days, that's a relationship. And in a relationship, it takes two parties, which means you got to be diligent, you got to be responsible. They're going to help hold your hand, but you got to do some work. You got to be willing to put in the work. But for the next 120 days, this is an exclusive private launch for my people who've been active UMTPG members for the last 6 months, or for the people who I've worked with one-on-one. We are going to give you a $500 discount on that material. Again, I got these notes. I've already started to jump all over the place. It's hard for me to follow it. There's just so much good stuff to talk about. And again, I cannot underscore this enough. I've worked with so many of you in the NEMT space, in the home care space, but everything that everyone who I've worked with in home care previously, we've really focused on the private pay work, leveraging your NEMT business as a platform to build, grow, and scale your private pay work, which is great. It's phenomenal. But now when you look at Marty and Ginny's business model, where they not only service private pay clients, but they have this government contract system that is just simply on autopilot, where again, anytime I've been in their office, or sometimes I've been at their house and they're able to pull up their laptop in the evening and I say ping, 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 you just see nothing but requests coming in. This is something you got to go after, bottom line. And again, I have to underscore this point. Getting government contracts in the home care space could not be more different than government contracts in NEMT. They are worlds apart. There is no middleman whatsoever when it comes to home care. And again, if anyone ever tries to solicit you to serve as a broker or to serve as a businessman, a middleman in your home care agency, you need to run from them as fast and as far as possible, because it's a scam. Run from it. So here's the deal. I'm going to put some information somewhere on here. They're going to have information or some exclusive links. If you go to homecareaccess.com, the links on there are not going to be active, because for the next 120 days, this is going to be an exclusive launch. If you've ever thought about doing a home care agency If all you've done is your home care, if you already have one and your home care agency is really private pay based and you want to go after government contracts, this could be the great opportunity for you. If you're looking to grow and scale and diversify your own portfolio and make more money, bottom line, this is an opportunity for you, huge opportunity. I know, trust me, I know that this is going to crush and just kill so many of you White Walkers who already hate me as it is, and you want to be a freebie expert. I'm going to go join my Facebook social groups, and I want to be a social media influencer on LinkedIn. Go do that. I understand. I know you all want the freebie stuff. It's not going to be here for you. Again, if you've been an active UMTPG member for the last 6 months, or I've worked with you one-on-one for the next 120 days, it's all about you. We're going to get you this material for a $500 discount. We want you to study the heck out of this material. The more you study this material and become more familiar with it, should you decide to move forward, enlist the help of Marty and Ginny, who are going to work with you for 120 days. The more knowledgeable you are studying this material, the faster you're going to move with Marty and Ginny. And you're going to see they're not going to waste time. They want to help get everything operational, get you registered within your state. Again, every state has different rules and regulations, and there's 50 of them. You got to make sure you're compliant. The policies, the procedures, the manuals you're going to have to create, which they're going to help you do, they got to be customized to be compliant with your state. But again, when you duplicate what the success that Marty and Ginny have continued to experience, especially over the last year or two with all of this insanity, it just screams this is a phenomenal opportunity. So spend some time, by all means. Our website is live. It's active. We have a software platform coming out soon that is going to be very robust, allow you to help manage your entire business. That's going to be a phenomenal opportunity. That's how committed we are to this. We're not going to just get you information. It's where we want to put all of the tools and resources in front of you to further empower you to be successful. So that's how committed we are. So check it out. Spend time on the website. All the content is live, but the links are not live because for the next 120 days, this is an exclusive launch. That's all about you. After that 120 days, then these links will be live. We'll go to the general public. If we are in a situation, we may have to put people on a waiting list to start one-on-one. Be respectful. Understand that is a strong possibility, especially after these next 120 days when this is no longer an exclusive launch. It's no longer a private launch, and we go more public with this. Understand at that point, especially one-on-one and working with Marty and Ginny could be more of an arrangement where we would have to deploy some type of a waiting list. So just keep that in mind. Be respectful. Because again, they're working with people for 120 days. I only do 60. They're committed. They are so committed to you. They're going to work with you for 120 days because they want to get you to the point in time where you're getting these government contracts that they're getting. So, again, there's a lot more notes here that I could go into, but I think I've given you enough to at least get you thinking outside the box, get you to pique your interest of, if ever there was a time for me to get into home care, this is it. Again, so many of you I've already worked with, your private pay, that's awesome. There is this home care access is not how to build $1 million home care agency. They're completely different. How to build $1 million home care agency is strictly the premise is how to leverage your NMT business to build, grow, and scale your private pay home care agency. Home care access is so much more because it's really putting you in a position to go after government contracts. And again, if I didn't witness it myself, if I hadn't been to their office multiple times, if I hadn't been to their home office multiple times and literally seen all the requests, ping, 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 if I did not witness it myself, I would not believe it. And if that was the case, I sure as heck would not have been able to partner with them or even advocate this entire business model. But I've seen their business too many times now. I've witnessed it firsthand. I see their numbers. I know what they're doing, and they've been in business over 20 years. They once started as a franchise. Now they're free. It just screams experience and something that you want to partner with. So when you do, I promise you there's only one thing that can happen. I'll see you at the top.